What the hell are Demon Slayers doing with their TP farming? In this video, we will talk about how you can utilize Spanish keyboard and double keyboard to WAP with less effort. I will present the summary and in-game demo first, then yap about more technical background later. By setting your keyboard language to Spanish or US International for English speakers, your right Alt will activate both Control and Alt. However, only Windows has this behavior and Mac OS does not. When you connect two keyboards at the same time, your inputs from both keyboards can coexist and are merged into a single stream without overpowering one or the other. Applying both Spanish and double keyboard, you can use two alternating skills while going through portals. You could keep attacking forever, but you still have to ethically press the right Alt at least every 60 seconds and pop runes. This tech is applicable to all classes. I will showcase a few classes in the next section. After the demo, I will talk about the information I've found and tested on how Keypress works in Windows and Maple specifically. Before we continue, I would like to warn you that both Spanish and double keyboard tech are in the gray area. If you use them properly and ethically, the risk is very low. However, if you use them blindly, the risk would be medium to high, depending on how you mess up. For example, Steam Controller with Turbo is considered as a bannable feature by synthesizing inputs. Zero's main farming skills are the two tornadoes. If you put them on Control and Alt with Spanish keyboard, pressing the right Alt will alternate between Alpha and Beta. Giga Crash gives high vertical coverage, and Tornado gives long horizontal coverage. However, it's subject to the regular standing lock and holding lock. With two keyboards, if you hold right Alt with one keyboard and hold up arrow on the other, you could farm like this. This method relies on two rules. Firstly, up arrow key does not have a holding lock. Secondly, entering portals resets standing lock. The only thing left is the holding lock on the right Alt. I would strongly recommend to repress it ethically. By the way, if you hold right Alt for longer than 60 seconds, the holding lock will kill all keys, including up arrow, from the second keyboard. Here comes the most ethical class, Demon Slayer. Chaos Lock handles all the heavy lifting. No portal or second keyboard is needed, just ethical represses of right Alt. For the rest of the classes, since I don't have high-level Janus and I don't farm on them, I will just showcase a proof of concept, not full farming rotations. Pathfinder, the most dogshit class in the game, has some unique interactions with this tech. Triple Impact by itself resets the standing lock, so if you Spanish it with auto, you could attack in the same spot forever. However, you are subject to relic gauge draining from too many Triple Impact. Popping Relic Awakening and looting every 2 minutes should be decent enough. Regular Pathfinder macro doesn't work well here, because any input right after macro key will stop the deluge from triggering. Portal farming with Pathfinder is not as smooth as other class, thanks to the wonderful design of the auto system. To add some pause to the auto for up arrow to squeeze in, you could use Swamp Shot or Combo Assault. Swamp Shot relies heavily on mob layout, but has shorter cooldown. Combo Assault has large range, but has longer cooldown. I can't take it anymore. I'm sick of Hayato. I try to play Zero. My Hayato deals more damage. I try to play Demon Slayer. My Hayato deals more damage. I try to play Pathfinder. My Hayato deals double the damage. And with Spanish, it could cut the moon. For portal farming, After Image Slash is pretty reliable as the secondary skill to use, along with Mist Slash, because it immediately returns to the portal. The Red Bunny also has some unique interactions. The back and forth dash moves between two spots. Pairing this motion with an attack, like the third job one, would reset the standing lock. For portal farming, you could use the Black Sword skills instead of the TP. who would not let Adele plummet to their face. With Spanish, you could jump plummet on repeat. This is subject to the regular holding and standing lock, but due to the longer cooldown on plummet, the attack count is throttled down to around 60 seconds. With portal farming, hunting decree and cleave just clear the whole map. Bishop is pretty standard. Peacemaker is already good enough, but hey, it's possible. Exclamation mark. Why? Exclamation mark. Why? Exclamation mark. Why? Auto weaving is here. Nate and Miso explosion on one key. Oh my god. I'm extremely bad at Dunbar, so I will leave the timings to the professionals. If you don't understand, then you don't understand. One last thing. Opening the overwhelmingly large number of herb pouches obtained ethically from Threads of Fate could be annoying, because you need to alternate between the herb pouch and interact key. Spanish them, put your head on the right alt, and take a nap. For the rest of the video, we will dive deep into how Keypress is generated from pressing to rendering. In general, Keypress follows these 5 major steps. The first and last steps are what we observe directly. In the second step, keyboard will send HID report to Windows. Every key has a unique key code. A HID report contains information about which key code is pressed down and which key code is lifted up. Once Windows receives the HID report, the drive stack will process the report and apply the active keyboard layout. Alt-GR stands for alternate graphic. It is a secondary modifier key for some language and keyboard layout for special characters. For the Spanish keyboard tech, this is where the input of right alt gets labeled as alt graphic. Once the key press report gets processed through the keyboard layout, it becomes a series of Windows messages that are categorized into 4 message titles. Key down, key up, system key down, system key up. Each message also contains information about which key code. Is it pressed down or lifted up? Is it repeating? Is it a part of combo? Is it extended keys, which are the modifier keys on the right side? Here is an example of Win32 messages when holding a single S key. In the first line it says, key S is being pressed. It is not an extended key. Alt is not being held down. The key just got pressed. The key is pressed according to the initial delay and repeat rate set by keyboard properties or filter keys. A repeating key down messages are sent, where the only difference is that F repeat is 1, indicating the key is repeating. Lastly, once the F up is set to 1, the key is lifted up. If we change the key to right alt, we can clearly see how alt graphic is handled internally in Windows. In the first 2 lines, Control is being pressed first. Then menu key, which is alt, is being pressed with labels of F extended and F alt down, indicating it's the right alt and alt is down. The following lines show that the right alt is repeating in a way that, whenever right alt arrives, there is always a control being inserted beforehand first. In the last 2 lines, the key up message for control is system key up, because alt was being held down, making it a system message combo. When 2 keyboards are both sending key press reports, for example, keyboard 1 sending S and keyboard 2 sending D, the Windows messages show that both reports are merged into a single stream. So both keyboards contribute to one global event queue and one shared modifier state. Are these tech safe? According to the official Maple guidelines, gamepads are allowed, but any use of hardware or software features that automate gameplay is strictly prohibited. A good rule of thumb is to always use physical presses by you, and don't use any hardware or software features that synthesize key presses. Learn your hardware or software features before using them. In conclusion, Spanish keyboard presses right alt, send control first, then alt. Both inputs from double keyboard are honored. All classes can portal farm, but some have niche applications. Again, always use physical presses by you, and don't use any hardware or software features that synthesize key presses. Thanks for watching.